going to use cabbage and create 2 recipes today, basically using almost all of the same ingredients. It's really simple ingredients. Most people are able to have these ingredients in their pantry. So cabbage is the highlight of it. We're using tomatoes, onions, garlic, some black pepper, some salt, and some curry powder. So let's prepare our ingredients to make our dishes. So we just want to sliver our tomatoes into some little bite-sized pieces. These are going to be stewed into the pot. You know, if you want your tomatoes smaller, go ahead and cut them smaller, but I've prepared them like this. So with our garlic, we basically put them in the food processor and broken them down. If you don't have a food processor, go ahead and chop this up as finely as possible, but you want a consistency that's similar to this for our garlic. And let's prepare an onion. We want a nice thinly slivered onion. Onions are all prepped. And let's prepare our cabbage. You don't want it too big, too small. So I would say something like this. That's sort of the consistency that I'm looking for in my cabbage. Of course, when you make this dish, if you think you want it bigger or smaller, you can go right ahead. But this is sort of like what I would look for when I'm chopping my cabbage. Let's tidy up our board and get ready to cook. So there we have it. 2 dishes, 1 more main ingredient. We used cabbage today with a few other ingredients, fresh tomatoes, onions, garlic, salt and pepper. And we created 2 completely different dishes just because we used 1 spice that was a little bit different. So our stewed tomato and cabbage. First, we worked on stewing our tomatoes down and then we added our cabbage. And this took less than 10 minutes to prepare. If you're really quick in the kitchen, you can do this in under 10 minutes. If not, it'll take a little bit longer, but it's such a healthy, fresh dish with such an affordable ingredient, cabbages, which is almost available all year round. And then with 1 little difference, all we did is we introduced our onions and garlic in the pot, and then we added some curry spices, some curry powder, allowed that to cook. And once that was cooked, we introduced our tomatoes to the pot, allowed that to simmer and stew and cook. And when that was cooked, we seasoned it up with some salt, some black pepper, and then we added our cabbage and allowed that to simmer. So there's 2 different flavor profiles here. Here's something that I would have to add to that. With cabbages, or when cooking cabbage, it's all about texture. For me, it's about texture along with the flavor. So I tend to not want to overcook my vegetables. I want to just have it with a little bit of a crisp, a little bit of a crunch, bite to it still. So 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes of stir frying it on high heat. That's about what I want to have, but it's up to you. If you prefer a softer bite, go ahead and cook your cabbage up for longer. If you prefer it to be even more crisp, then cook it for less time. There we have it, folks. 2 ways of using 1 main ingredient to create 2 completely different dishes.